Hello, Manchester City fans. We've got plenty of exciting news for you in today's video. We'll discuss the latest updates on our city, the challenges ahead, and news about the squad. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any details of this intense season. Every match is becoming increasingly crucial, and you won't want to be left out. Manchester City has returned to the Premier League with a bang after the international break, facing Wolves away at Molineux. So far, Pep Guardiola's team has had an impressive run, 5 victories and 2 draws in 7 matches. This streak has put the team in second place with 17 points. It's a solid start that has fans dreaming of yet another trophy, but will this unbeaten run continue? Or will City stumble as happened last season? The truth is, Wolves, despite their struggles in the table, always pose a tricky challenge. Last year, City was surprised by a 2-1 defeat at Molineux. What do you think, fans? Can we avoid another disappointment? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now, the big question is, how will City cope with the absences? Guardiola provided crucial updates regarding 2 key players in the squad. Nathan Ake and Kevin De Bruyne, both sidelined for several weeks, are still not ready to make a return. The manager was clear in his last press conference. They are training, but they are not 100% yet. Nathan Ake has started to participate in group training. But starting a match? That seems unlikely. Kevin, on the other hand, is still in recovery and will take a bit longer. These absences will weigh heavily, that's for sure. Do you think the rest of the squad is strong enough to overcome these losses? Who can step in and maintain the high standard we're used to? Let me know what you think down below. Another concern for the team is the absence of Rodri, who is suspended. Without him, the protection in front of the defense becomes more vulnerable, which could be crucial. Guardiola may need to improvise, but who would be the best option? Calvin Phillips has been mentioned, but his adaptation to City's style still raises questions. Do you trust him to handle the pressure, or do you think we need someone with more experience? It's impossible to discuss this season without mentioning the impact of injuries. Besides Ake, De Bruyne, and Rodri, City has other significant absences. Players like John Stones and Bernardo Silva have also faced fitness issues recently. Keeping these players fit will be essential for our ambitions to secure more trophies. The squad is talented, but will the packed schedule take its toll? Looking ahead, we have a series of fixtures that could define the season. The match against Wolves is just the beginning. Shortly after, City will face tough opponents in both the Premier League and the Champions League. With a patched-up squad, will we be able to maintain our level? The pressure is mounting and the challenges keep coming. Do you think Manchester City will be able to maintain their unbeaten run in the coming weeks? Or will this injury crisis cost us precious points? And more importantly, what do you think would be the best solution for these absences? Should Guardiola trust young talents like Oscar Bob and Rico Lewis? Or would it be wiser to lean on the experience of players like Matheus Nunes? One thing is for sure, the season is far from over, and every detail can make a difference. Guardiola has the experience and skill to manage crises, but can he keep the team competitive on all fronts? City has always been a team that fights for everything, but with so many challenges ahead, could this season be different? Now turning to our potential signing, Charles de Ketelaere. Should City really invest in him this January? Some experts believe he could bring a new dynamism to the midfield, especially with his exceptional attributes, but would he find space in such a competitive squad, or would he be more of a long-term project? What do you think, fans? This is the moment for you, City supporters, to make your voice heard. Share your opinions in the comments. Who would you like to see in the sky blue jersey come January? And more importantly, how do you view the team's performance so far? Are we on track to maintain our momentum and win more silverware? Or will injury issues hinder our plans? Confidence is a word that has always accompanied City fans, but at the same time, it has never been blind. We know that no game is won before the final whistle, and every victory must be earned. So, with so many challenges ahead, how do we keep our emotions in check? We've seen great moments slip away at crucial times due to overconfidence. Will City learn from past mistakes and stay focused on every detail, every adversity? The reality is that this stage of the season always brings extra tension. The international break, on one hand, allows some players to recover, but on the other hand, it disrupts the rhythm of a team that was gaining momentum. We return now with our eyes focused solely on one goal: to continue our good run of results and not let our rivals close the gap in the table. But fans, what worries you the most? The return of key players or When we talk about a lack of rhythm, we cannot overlook the impact of Kevin De Bruyne's absence on the City style of play. The Belgian is the maestro, the one who makes the team function like a perfect symphony. Without him, the transitions lose fluidity, and City needs to find alternative ways to break down opposition defenses. Matheus Nunes has quality, but can he fill that gap? And Phil Foden, who has been adapted to different roles, can he continue to develop in that creative position? This is the big question hanging over the Etihad right now. We're talking about one of the most complete squads in the world, with players capable of turning a game around in an instant. But football goes beyond individual talent. Teamwork, confidence, and mentality are just as important as raw skill. And without some of our key players, will City be able to maintain the same standard of excellence? Or are we about to face... And speaking of inconsistency, the Premier League is ruthless. A small slip can see rivals overtake you. Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, all are lurking, waiting for a misstep to seize the lead. And the fixtures won't get any easier in the coming weeks. Do you think City is ready to handle this pressure, or do you feel we're about to enter a more complicated phase? Now, regarding the Wolves, the recent history brings bitter memories. The defeat last season left scars, and no one wants to relive that nightmare. However, the Wolves, despite being in the lower part of the table, have a knack for surprising. The pressure will be entirely on our side, and Molineux will be buzzing. What do you think, torturer? Will we be able to bring our game this time, or will it be one of those days when everything seems to conspire against us? Guardiola has more than enough experience to handle these situations. He's been through tough phases before and has always found a way to overcome them, but this season brings new challenges. The sheer number of matches, injuries, and the need to maintain focus across all competitions make this journey even more complicated. And what about the psychological factor? Will the team be able to cope with the pressure? For many, this season will be a true test of fire. It's not just about winning matches. It's about managing a squad that's being pushed to the limit. This raises an interesting question. Will Guardiola need to change his approach? So far, he has rotated the squad with skill. But with so many players sidelined, will he be forced to adapt? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. City's season is far from predictable. Each match can bring a new twist, and every decision Guardiola makes will be scrutinized closely. But in the end, what truly matters is the confidence the team has in itself. And you, the supporter, do you still believe we can emerge from this phase even stronger? Returning to the topic of reinforcements, many believe that the January transfer window could be a turning point. With injuries piling up and the tight schedule looming, the arrival of new players could be crucial. Charles de Ketelaere is an interesting option, but is he the immediate solution City needs? Or are there other names that would make more sense to strengthen the midfield and provide more balance to the team? Experienced supporters know that success doesn't come easy. City has a solid foundation, high-caliber players, and a manager who understands the modern game. But football is unpredictable, and everything can change in an instant. We are entering a decisive phase, and every point dropped could prove costly. Will the team maintain the composure needed to navigate these challenges? Guardiola knows that emotional intensity is also at stake. The players need to believe that despite the absences, City is still the team to beat. But is that confidence unshakable? The absence of De Bruyne in midfield and Rodri in defensive support certainly disrupts the team's balance. The challenge now is to find quick solutions that will provide the stability needed to keep moving forward, and we mustn't forget, the entire squad needs to be in sync. Players like Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland will have to be even more decisive. We know what Haaland can do when he's at his best. The match against the Wolves then becomes a test not just of technique, but of mental resilience. And the fans play a crucial role. Support from the stands and on social media needs to be unwavering because when the team feels the fans are behind them, motivation surges. So, if you're reading this, know that your voice makes a difference. Your comment, your participation, your support can help City overcome yet another hurdle. Now about what comes next. The schedule won't show any mercy. Every game will feel like a final. The Champions League is knocking at the door again, and the battles in the Premier League are only going to get more intense. Pep Guardiola, as always, will need to use his full tactical repertoire to continue extracting the best from a squad that's being tested to its limits. But what will be the priority? League or Champions League? Will the quest for European supremacy compromise stability in the domestic league? And when we return to the topic of the transfer window, one question lingers. Will City manage to bring in someone with an immediate impact? The name Charles de Ketelaere still resonates in conversations, but is he the right player for these pressure moments? Or should the team be aiming for another target, perhaps someone with more experience in big matches, to hold the fort until the end of the season? Supporters, now more than ever, this is your time to be heard. What do you think the team needs now? Reinforcements in January? Confidence in the young talents of the squad? Or do we still have enough strength to fight on all fronts despite these difficulties? Share your thoughts and predictions for the upcoming matches in the comments, because this is the moment when every voice counts. Manchester City is undoubtedly at a crucial juncture. The invincibility is being tested, the squad is being challenged, and the manager is making choices that could change the course of the season. But, as always, the fighting spirit and quality of this team make us believe there's light at the end of the tunnel. Every victory brings us closer to our goals. Every match is a new chance to show why we are Manchester City. So, supporter, the final question rests with you. Are we ready to face the Wolves and maintain our push for the top? What do you expect from City in the upcoming matches? It's time to take a stand, to leave your mark. After all, together we are stronger, and this season promises many twists and turns. So, supporter, if you want to keep up with every detail of this intense journey of our Manchester City, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you'll stay updated on everything firsthand. Don't miss any news because the best is yet to come.